Hey guys, I wanted to do a tutorial to give you a little bit of an example of how I go about editing my images. First off, I'm starting with a raw image straight out of my camera, Canon 5D Mark III, and I wanted to show you using the Adobe Bridge and Adobe Camera Raw what we've done with a raw image. What you're seeing now is, like I said, straight out of the camera and needs a little bit of adjustments. So I'll show you how we do it. I right click on the thumbnail over here on the left side and I open in Camera Raw. Now we have a lot more that we can do, and the first thing I usually look at is white balance. You can see this is how it was shot. You can click on the auto, you can click on the daylight. If you set a custom white balance using a gray card, then you may need to set it that way. Otherwise, just look and see if you want to pick one of these presets that are listed, or you can also change it yourself. You can see how you can go really cool, really warm, and give it a little color tint. So you want to be careful with that. So I really liked how cloudy it looked, and maybe warm it up just a little bit. You can have a lot of control over your image here for your exposure, increase it up, down. Also, if you double click, if you notice I drop my exposure, and if you double click here, it takes it back to the middle, to the normal exposure. So that's a little tip that you can do. Pretty much with this one, I would just want to add a little bit of vibrance to make the colors pop, and you can see if you go overboard, it's a little much. So I'm thinking somewhere right around there looks pretty good. Other than that, I add sharpening to this image. You can see the tab up here, the detail tab, and that's where I add the sharpening. We go back to our basic tab, take one other look at it, and decide whether or not we're happy with that image. If we are, we tell it done. And you can see there it has updated in this window. Now what we have to do, since it is a raw image, you can see by the file name CR2, that lets us know it is a raw image. I need to make a JPEG image out of this. Click on Tools, Photoshop, Image Processor. Now we have the window here that is going to ask us where we want to save our JPEG to. I actually have it saving into the same location. It puts it in a JPEG folder within that same location where the raw images were. I'm saving it as a JPEG, quality level 10, and you can add copyright info if you would like to. That's what I have done down here in the bottom. I've added my copyright info, and just tell it to run. You can do these one image at a time, or several images at a time actually. So we tell it to run, and Photoshop will take the raw image and create a JPEG out of it. Here's our JPEG image that we created from this file. Now we have it to where you could get a print made off of this if you would like, email this to someone, but we're going to do more to this image later. So make sure and subscribe to our channel so you can see what we're going to do with this next. I hope you enjoyed that photo tip. If you'd like to see more of what we post, it may be some software tips, it may be some tips on actual shooting, be sure and hit the subscribe button up here. That way you stay up to date on everything we post. Thanks guys.